Welcome to morning yoga. Super excited to have you today. Let's make sure that we have a couple of yoga blocks and or a pillow if you want a knee pad. My knees are super sore today. I did a Pilates class yesterday, which I'm super happy about with a reformer, but they did a lot of stuff on our knees. They didn't give me a pad. So let's go ahead and come into the room, bringing the rib cage over the pelvis and sitting up nice and tall, feeling as if someone is pulling a string out of the top of your head. Let's just concentrate on our breathing. Nice big 360 breath, so in both directions with the rib cage right and left, and then front and back. So continuing to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Directing that breath right into the rib cage. Let's do 2 more times, in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. Next breath brings the arms up. Let's go ahead and twist over to the right, looking over that right shoulder. Left hand lands on the right knee. Keep breathing here as we're twisted. Next inhale brings those arms up. Exhale over to the left side, looking over that left shoulder. Right hand lands on that right knee. I'm sorry, left knee. Continuing to breathe here. Next breath brings the arms up. Let's exhale, touching the right hand down to the mat. Left arm comes up over top. This gives us a great opportunity to breathe into this left side body. Really directing that breath into the rib cage. Next inhale brings you up. Exhale over to the left. Right arm is up and over the head, exposing that right rib cage. So breathing into that right rib cage, in through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. Next inhale brings you up. Let's reach forward, bringing you up to hands and knees. Here's where I'll use my little knee pad. And we'll start with some cat-cows this morning. So dropping that belly, untucking the pelvis, bringing the breastbone up and through the armpits. And then tucking that pelvis, rounding into the low back, the mid back, the upper back. Untucking the pelvis, dropping the belly, very slowly articulating through this all the way up to the head. One more time, let's go into cat. So arching into that back super slowly. Feel like someone is walking their fingers up your vertebrae as you bend into each vertebrae. Last cow, so untucking that pelvis, dropping the belly, dropping the chest, pulling that collarbone through. Tuck your toes in the back. Let's go ahead and rock back and forth. These rock backs open the pelvic floor in the back, which is super great. This will help you. If you need to go number 2, it helps loosen that tissue. As Charmin would say, enjoy the go. We'll come back up onto our hands and knees. Let's take the left hand up to the sky, opening up, getting ready for thread the needle, threading this left hand through, coming down onto that left ear. Right hand can stay on the mat. Keep breathing here. Right hand comes down, left hand comes back up to the sky, really looking at that thumb. We want some good thoracic mobility here. So as we open up, we'll try to really open that chest and see if we can get any more of a rotation in the upper back. So basically brow line and above is where we want to be rotating in this position. Left hand comes down to the mat. Now right hand comes up to the sky, looking up at that thumb, really opening up into that chest. Inhale here at the top, exhale, thread that hand underneath. Right ear comes down to the mat, left hand stays on the mat, keep breathing. Left hand pushes into the mat. Right hand comes back up, really opening with the chest, making that rotation by bringing the right hand higher. Inhale here at the top. Exhale, take both hands down to the mat. Push back for a wide-legged child's pose. Feeling that breath into the rib cage. Sit up, and we will come onto our back today. Make sure your blocks are handy. We are first going to do a couple little strengthening moves for the core. So lying all the way back on our back, knees are bent. We'll bring the feet in close to the body, but not touching the glutes. Now, without moving your pelvis at all, no rocking, no tipping, feeling like the pelvis is stuck in cement, we'll pick up the right leg into a tabletop position, which is a 90-degree bend in your knee. And then we'll push that back down. We'll do that 4 more times with the right leg, making sure those hips do not move. 2 more times we'll do that. 2. And last one. Release that down to the mat. And let's windshield wiper, just a small range of motion of those legs. So what this move is doing is strengthening that transverse abdominis, and sometimes that muscle can check out on us. And we want everything to be nice and strong in our core and work together for good pelvic floor health, as that the pelvic floor is a small bowl of muscles. Your core is a big long line of different muscles, and then your glutes also help, and your inner thighs really help. So if we work on strengthening those muscles, then we have great support for the pelvic floor. So again, putting those hips in concrete, don't let them move at all. You can put your hands on your hip bones just to make sure. This time, left foot comes up into the air, into that tabletop, and then we'll come down, up, down. We'll go 3 more times. 3, 2, last one. Up slow, down slow. Good job. So let's take our pelvis and we'll rock it forward, and then we'll rock our pelvis back. So these are called pelvis tilts, rocking that pelvis forward, so there might be a little bit of space underneath your back from the mat and your back. We'll rock the pelvis towards the head. And as we're doing this motion, let's just keep going through the motion. As we do it, let's make sure that we do it with those lower ab muscles. So we're really working the abs today and not your glutes. So you can reach around and figure out, oh, is my glute squishy or is it clenching to do this exercise? We don't want that. We want this to be lengthen those abdominal muscles from belly button to pubic bone and then contract them to bring that pelvis up towards the face. So let's do 2 more. Towards the feet, contract towards the head, release to the feet, contract towards the head. Hold there. Release into a neutral pelvis, so let all those muscles go. We'll take the knees into the chest. If you want, you can rock side to side. You can grab behind the knees, open the legs up. And if you want, you can grab either the outside of the foot or the first toe with the 2 peace fingers. And come into a full happy baby. Bringing those hands back behind the legs, closing the legs. While we have the hands behind the legs, let's just go ahead and make some circles. So we'll go out, down, together, out, down, together. So like we were drawing a really wonky looking circle with our knee. Maybe it looks more like an egg. 1 more this direction, and then we'll switch directions. So we go up towards the head, together, down, out, up towards the head, together, down. 1 more time. And bringing those knees into the chest. Let's find our block. Feet come down to the mat. We'll take the block, and you can take it on the low level or the higher level, and we'll prop up the hips. So having to bring the hips up into a bridge pose initially to get this onto the block. And this is a supported bridge pose. So this is really great if we have prolapse or if we have any sort of digestive problems. This is reversing the digestion pattern, so reversing the blood flow and the flow of gravity. And also for our lymph nodes, this is a lymphatic drainage. There are lymph nodes in the groin. So we'll just stay here for about 3 to 5 breaths at your own pace. Just enjoying. I have my window open and I have a beautiful fresh breeze coming in through the window. It makes me feel like I need to be camping right now. Hopefully the weekend will be just as lovely. Let's take this block, we'll push the hips up, take the block out, and we'll just do a few rolling bridges. Let's actually put the block in between the knees. And we'll roll the hips up. So this is that other supporting muscle, the glute. As we bring the hips up, the glutes contract. So feel like you're pinching a penny between the cheeks. And then we'll roll down upper back, middle back, low back, release the pelvis. Again, bring the hips up. Stay in that contraction at the top. Pinch a penny between your cheeks. Then roll down upper back, middle back, low back, release. Push the hips up. Hold in that contraction. Come down upper back, middle back, low back, and release that pelvis. Let's take this block out from between the legs. We'll bring the knees into the chest one last time. Maybe rock back and forth, whatever feels good for you. We're releasing the glutes. Sorry, my microphone got stuck in my shirt. rolling to one side. Let's come back into a seated position on our mat. Bringing that rib cage over pelvis. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Next inhale, we'll bring those hands up over the head, and then bringing the hands to heart center in a prayer position. I say to everybody, namaste. Thank you so much for coming. May your coffee and your pelvic floor be strong today.